Hey everyone, Ryan Casey here for the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals, bringing you the latest and greatest edition of TechBytes, tips and tricks for educators. This month's edition is focusing on some Gmail hacks to hopefully help make you a little more efficient with your email and inbox. This is the advanced version. I've already posted a basic edition of Gmail hacks if you haven't had a chance to check out that as well, so make sure you do that. In this advanced feature, we're going to be focusing on things like how to set up filters to automatically organize your inbox for you, how to use canned response and whenever you feel like you're repeating a message back every time you send an email, and then finally a third-party app called Boomerang that'll help you schedule emails you want to send out in advance. So let's go ahead, check these out. Let's get started. Okay, so the very first advanced Gmail hack that I want to show you today is using a filter. And what a filter does is that based on a certain address, a certain sender, or by certain keywords that are used in the email message or the subject line, your Gmail will go ahead and add a label to that, and it'll go ahead and even move that to a folder if you wish, or it'll automatically delete it, or it'll send it on somewhere else. So it's kind of like this automated action that'll occur to this message depending on what it says or who it's from. So in this example, I'm going to take a referral that a teacher sends us based on a keyword, in this case referral, and instead of going into my inbox, populating that with a bunch of stuff, it's going to go ahead and move to a specific label and folder. So if you want to use it just like this, you'd obviously have to have your labels and folders set up, which is one of the tips and tricks I showed you how to use in our basic TechByte edition of the Gmail hacks. So you'll notice that I already have a folder set up that says referral. So all I need is a teacher to use a certain keyword, and it'll automatically send that email to that folder, again, just to kind of clean out my inbox a little bit so it doesn't get bogged down with certain types of emails. So to do this, we have to go to the settings area. So in the upper right corner, I'm going to go to the little gear icon, and I'm going to choose settings. So kind of a busy screen. Up at the top, you have the different banner options to choose from. About halfway across, you'll see filters and blocked addresses. Right now I don't have any filter set up, so I'm going to choose create a new filter. So again, you can set this up based on a certain person who it's coming from. Maybe you want any email coming from your superintendent based on the sender's address to automatically go to a folder called to do or very important. You could set it up like that. In this case, I'm going to use anytime in the subject line the word referral is used. And again, obviously I'd have to explain this expectation to my teachers, of course. And I'm going to choose create filter with this search, so it's based on that keyword. What do I want it to do? Well, I don't want it to go to my inbox, so I'm going to have it skip the inbox, and I'm going to go ahead and have it automatically apply the referral label and go to that folder. So again, I don't want it bogging down my inbox, so skip the inbox, and I'm going to have it automatically apply this label. And I'm going to choose create filter. And then I'm going to go back to my inbox. So now all I need is a teacher to send me an email with the keyword referral, and eventually it'll show up down here in the referral label area. You'll see a 1 populate there. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll just refresh my page real quick to make sure it gets sent there. Still not there quite yet. Hopefully it's coming. We'll refresh one more time. And there it is. You can see that it's not in my inbox, and all of a sudden now, in my folders, I have one for referral. And I say, yep, it's based on the keyword. John Doe got a referral. Looks like inappropriate language in class. So now that is, again, just one really simple way in which you can use a filter. I know teachers use these a lot to separate assignments that are coming into their inbox, maybe from their first hour class versus their third hour class, based on a keyword, first hour, third hour. They can have those automatically populate to certain inboxes or certain folders, so it's not bogging down their inbox. So one advanced feature hopefully you can practice using to help you stay on top of your inbox a little bit. Okay, so the next advanced Gmail hack that I want to show you is what's called the canned response. And this is a really cool feature in Gmail that allows you to save time. If you ever feel like you are repeating a certain message or saying the same thing back anytime you go to reply to somebody's email, especially maybe a question that you get that requires the very same answer all the time. You can type this out one time, save it as a canned response in Gmail, and therefore every other time you need to reply or respond with that message, you just click a button and the message is already inserted for you. So you don't have to go back and retype it. You don't have to go back and find an old message and try and copy and paste the words in. You type it out one time, save it, and then you can use that canned response for future messages. So a good example of this is anytime, I know whenever I got to homecoming time, it seemed like I got a ton of emails, whether it be from parents or from students asking what day is the homecoming dance, what time is it. So I'm going to show you how to create a canned response to that. So I'm going to go to Compose right now. And down in the bottom right next to the trash can, you'll see a little triangle that says More Options. If we click that, we're going to go to Canned Responses. So I already have one set up for a snow day response, which I'll show you what that is in just a second. But this is where you would go to insert a message if you already have one, or to save a new one that you've typed out, or to delete. So in this case, I'm going to say something like, the homecoming dance will take place on Friday from 8 to 11 p.m. Have fun. So again, I can go to that More Options arrow, Canned Responses, and I'm going to save this as a new canned response and give it a name. Homecoming dance. And hit OK. So now it's saved. So now, anytime that I get an email from somebody and it requires that response, you can see that it will be in the canned response area. So you could have a variety of these, maybe for graduation, band concerts. The next example I want to show you is if your students were like mine, anytime a single snowflake hit the ground, I got 50 emails that day asking about, are we going home early for a snow day? So you can see I have an email message for somebody asking about going home early. Well, I'm going to reply to the student. I always thought it was really important to make sure I reply to every single student that emailed me. But again, to take the time to respond to 50 kids about a snow day, probably not the best use of your time. So I'm going to go down to More Options. I'm going to go to Canned Responses. And I'm going to choose Insert Snow Day Response. And you can see my message already populated. It says, thank you for your concern for the safety of our students. We will make the appropriate choice with student safety in mind. Be safe. And then you can go ahead and send. So a lot faster, a lot more efficient instead of having to type out that same exact message over and over, being redundant. So canned response, make sure you check that feature out. Okay, the last Gmail hack of our advanced edition that I want to show you involves a really, really cool third-party app called Boomerang. What Boomerang allows you to do, and it works for Gmail or Outlook, it can also be used on a lot of email apps on your phone, it allows you to schedule emails out in advance. It also allows you to sometimes use it as like a read receipt and require a user to do some sort of action, whether or not like they've opened up your email or if they haven't replied yet. So it's got some other cool features that I want to show you as well. You'll notice that when I go to compose a message, mine's already installed, it looks a little different. You'll see I have an additional button down here that says Send Later. So basically what this allows me to do if I click on that is if I have a message that I want to send, I can have it send obviously right away like normal, or I can do it within a certain time frame. So many hours, the next morning, the next afternoon, maybe in a month, a week, or I can even put down a specific time. So for example, I know a lot of principals maybe send a weekly email to your staff. I always set mine on Sundays afternoon. Instead of having to sit around and make sure I got on my computer by 3 o'clock on a Sunday to send my email out to my staff, I could type this email out that I knew I wanted to send them ahead of time and schedule it to send it out at a certain time on Sunday. You can do the same thing. I know there's always that crucial window of like when you get to exam times and graduation and homecoming, do you want to send out the information too early or too late? There's always that kind of that perfect window of time when you want to send something out. Use Boomerang to schedule that so you don't forget about it, so you don't do it too late, too early. Anytime you find that crucial, uninterrupted time in your office where you can get some of these important email announcements done, that's good. Use that time wisely, but it doesn't mean you have to send it at that time either. So like I said, you can choose a certain time frame in which you want to send it. Also, you'll notice down at the bottom that you can check it and you can say Boomerang this in 2 hours or a week, so many days, again, a custom time amount, if you don't get a reply from somebody, if they didn't open it, or even if you just want to do it anyways. So if you know that you're sending out an important email, maybe somebody in your staff isn't opening it, it'll send it again. So a really, really cool feature in Boomerang to help schedule your emails. You'll also notice down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's this Boomerang Respondable. And what this does is it offers analytics. You'll see on the right side of my email composed message screen now that based on the length of your email, how many words you're using, questions that you're posing, even the reading level, it'll kind of give you a spectrum of what would most likely actually get a response from somebody. If it's too short or too long, no one's gonna, or if I asked too many questions. So it's kind of a neat little analytic feature that's in Boomerang to help make sure that you're getting the responses that you are expecting from people that you're sending messages to. And the last really neat feature of Boomerang is the ability to pause. I'm up in the upper left-hand corner. You'll see this blue button. I can pause my inbox. So kind of similar to a vacation responder, but basically if you don't want to be interrupted, maybe you're in the middle of doing an evaluation. You don't want things buzzing on your phone or going off on your laptop. You're trying to concentrate. You can pause your inbox so nothing will come into your inbox. It'll wait. You can set it based on a certain amount of time. You can automatically unpause it, for example, after so much time. Somebody will get a responder letting them know that, hey, you're just not able to go to your inbox right now and click on something, you'll get back to them. But it is kind of a nice feature that if you want to pause or take a break from your inbox, that you can do that if you just really don't want to be interrupted at that given moment. If you want to go to add the Boomerang app or software to your computer, if you simply go to boomerangapp.com, you'll see that this is available for Gmail, Outlook, or for your mobile device. So depending on how you want to use it, you simply click on the buttons and it'll walk you through the directions on how to set that up on your device, so you can help schedule these emails out, save yourself some time, and be a little more efficient again with your inbox. And that'll do it for the advanced edition of Gmail hacks. Hopefully you found all of these tips and tricks useful to help stay on top of your email a little better. On your screen, I'm going to also include some resources for some articles that you can check out that have some additional tips and tricks to help you with your email. I'm going to also post those links in our MASSP YouTube channel page for this video so you can get to them a little easier. So make sure you check those out. I'd also really appreciate it if you can give me some feedback on this month's TechByte. The feedback that you give me will help drive these video tutorials, make them even better in the future. You can also even share with me some ideas that you would like to see me try out and do tutorials on for future editions of TechByte. So please fill out that Google form. I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, I'd like to really thank you on behalf of MASSP for spending some time with me and watching this video. I hope everyone has a great day.